boxing truth here. Chris Eubank Jr. is going to have to become his own man. Tell his father to fall back and get a little more involved in his career, as another big fight has slipped away from his hands. Chris Eubank Jr. lost the GGG fight because of his father. His father is costing him big opportunities. This is not the first time. The rematch with Saunders hasn't happened, and it's because of how difficult Eubank Sr. is to deal with. Everybody who's dealt with Sr. says that, but I didn't think it was that bad. Sr. wanted provisional control of the promotion. He wanted to get every dollar he could to get the biggest type payday he could for his son. Trying to have extortion type ticket prices. He wanted to set the prices on his own. He wanted to organize the undercard, what fighters would be there and what fighters would get paid, what commentators would do the commentating. So he pretty much, Senior wanted to marginalize Matchroom Eddie Hearn's role in the promotion. Pretty much be a sham promoter where all they do is just make the deal and Senior's pretty much control the show. And that was a no-go. That was a deal breaker for Eddie Hearn. All Senior had to do was negotiate on his son's behalf for the GGG fight. The biggest amount he could get, possibly he could get for his son. That was his job. Not actually run the entire card and pretty much force Eddie Hearn to say fuck you and let the opportunity give that GGG opportunity to another fighter who is more committed to him long term. The Eubanks are only committed to Eddie Hearn for one more fight, and they were hoping Eddie Hearn could deliver the GGG fight. But Eddie Hearn was unable to get Eubank Sr. on board. He couldn't deliver the Eubanks to GGG. And it's simply because Senior fucked up that fight. And now Junior reputation is going to be in shambles now. He's going to look like a ducker, a bullshitter, talking all that shit only for the fight not to get made. And it's unknown what the future holds for Eubank Jr. now. Is he going to stay with Matchroom? He still has one more fight with them. So it's still unclear what direction they take. But if he ends up fighting another British level opponent, another domestic type fight, it's going to be real embarrassing for Eubank Jr. He's truly going to look like a ducker and a daddy's boy if that's what ends up happening. But Junior says he never saw the contract to sign, that he had the pen ready in his hand. And Eddie Hearn doesn't doubt that, because he wasn't allowed to talk to Junior throughout the whole process of negotiations with the Triple G fight. Everything had to run through Senior, as Senior simply just has too much control over his son's career, and he's costing him the big fights. This is another opportunity that slipped through his hands. Other fights haven't materialized, and it's simply because how difficult Senior is to deal with. Junior has to make a choice. Either tell his father to fall back a little, get a little more involved in negotiations, or find some other representation to negotiate on his behalf for fights, as his father so far has yet to deliver him a big fight. Junior's got to be devastated, especially if he's hearing all the shit that's out there on the internet, of what's being put out there, what's being said by the promoter, especially by his own promoter, that his father cost him his fight. That he gave him no choice but to go to another direction with one of his fighters, one of other Eddie Hearn's fighters in the stable. And now Kell Brook is getting the opportunity for pretty much the same terms that was given to Eubank Jr. Only Brook signed on the dotted line within 24 hours. It took 3 weeks of negotiating and nothing. Now Junior's left with nothing. To go from fighting Triple G to perhaps another domestic level British title defense. What will be an embarrassing turn of events, as many fans are going to suspect that he ducked Triple G. But it really wasn't Junior. I really believe Junior would have fought Triple G. But his fucking father fucked up the deal for him. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.